Before we get started, I should point out this is going to be a different type of video compared to the normal Rust Workshop skin checks. Basically, this is Easter skins, and I can't really produce a list because it potentially might clash with TGG's list, which is the official list. So I'm going to refrain from making a list, so you're going to have to look for these skins yourself, I'm sorry to say. Also, the main focus with today's video will only be looking at continuations of previous Easter skins. Basically, with every Easter skin we're about to see, there's been a previous, rendition on a different weapon or deployable. You get the idea. You'll basically understand it when we talk about all of them. So my apologies in regards to that, but at the very least, we can see some interesting submissions that have appeared over the past weekend and as of Monday. And why don't we just go take a real quick look at all of them. Now again, next week, I'm pretty sure TGG, also known as That German Guy, will be producing a big fat list of Easter skins. Chances are there'll be even more than what you can see right here. But what I'm going to do, as I said, is point out all the collection continuations. And we can use the likes of SUM to APP to try and figure out, is there any potential investments we could make? Maybe. We'll discuss that as we go through all of these. So there's your nice little sneak peek at all the skins. But of course, today we're only looking at the likes of continuations. So let's get the ball rolling. Let's just explain all the details first. Then we'll go over all the new skins that have been submitted. So we are probably going to be having 2 weeks of Easter, maybe. Last year we did. We didn't have them the previous years though, so there is no guarantee, but we do know March 21st will be an Easter Rust store, because that's when they're going to introduce the Easter in-game event. We're going to be able to collect Easter eggs again. So keep that in mind. Also, Easter is on the 31st of March, so I would be under the assumption that with all these Easter skins, we're going to be seeing 2 Rust stores out of them. Again, not all the details are fully understood. If anything, I should point out, don't be upset by some of the skins some of the skin creators might produce, because they've only just found out about that they had to get skins ready this past Thursday when the blog came out pointing out, hey, Easter's coming out on the 21st. So if you've noticed certain continuations or collections aren't really to what you're expecting, again, these skin creators only just kind of found out a few days back. So yeah. So in short, don't be too upset. But do expect some point next week, you will probably see the likes of That German Guy putting out a big fat list of all of the Easter skins, because of course this week, all the skins that he's put out for the top picks list were skins we saw last week. But of course next week, he'll be showcasing probably well over 100 plus Easter skins, and of course keep an eye out for his video and whatnot. So now that we got that all understood, just remember, alright, when you're on the main Rust Workshop page, hover over Browse, click Collections, and at some point on Tuesday or Wednesday next week, you'll see his Easter batch. So just giving you a heads up. Awesome. Alright then, so I've got SUM.app here to help me out, just to point out to you all the previous Easter Rust stores that we've had. And of course, with today, we're going to be looking at the likes of all of these continuations that I've come across, and we're going to discuss, hey, maybe we might want to consider buying the previous editions and whatnot. So let's jump in. Let's start off with the likes of Deployables. So what do we have here? This is Evgen Brow's Carrot Small Box. Now, you might not probably, you probably don't fully remember his previous skin because, well, unfortunately, Evgen Brow's only had like a couple accepted. So if I just quickly go over to here, was it 2018 or 2019? I can't fully remember. We have a nice looking carrot box, but yeah, I don't remember them off by heart. Where is it? Oh dear, come on, there it is. Hey, so was that your only skin to be accepted? It was. Well, maybe you could get a sequel. What we have here was the likes of the Easter carrot storage from quite some time back. Do you remember this? It is ever so nice and orange. Get a good look at that. Yep. So get a good look at this. Right now there's 100 of them on the Steam market, and they're currently listed at $1.20. If you want to get in a nice Easter theme mood, well, consider buying this. And also, if you'd like, consider getting a good look at the likes of this small box here. You've got 2 little bunnies giving it a little kiss right there. Isn't that cute? Very nice, very cool. So yeah, do you approve? Do you like? Well, please consider looking for this skin and voting yes or no if you approve of it. But in terms of, if this were to be accepted, would the previous one potentially just magically rise up in price? I'm going to be brutally honest with you, all right? When it comes to holiday-themed skins, you shouldn't really ever expect a big spike in demands and spike in price. Now, if it's been over the course of several years, with multiple skins being accepted over the course of every Easter over the past few years, maybe something could have been built up like that. We've seen previously the likes of Christmas not too long ago. We have like a gingerbread door collection, and that's built up quite nicely. Gingerbread skins recently though, but we haven't seen anything like this. Evergreen Browse only had one skin accepted, but maybe after quite a long break they could potentially get this potentially been accepted. It's up to you for what you want to vote for. Sounds good. Let's move on to the next thing. And what do we have? Egg Basket Large Box. So Mr. PYH, if I recall, was it last year? Which one was it? Not that week. It was week 2 for 2023. There we go. Last year, Mr. PYH produced this ever so straightforward but perfectly fine looking egg basket box. Sometimes it doesn't have to be insanely flashy, but with what he had here, a perfectly nice, well-coloured patterns design here. Well, at the moment, the small box is currently selling for 72 cents. Yeah, this is what I meant by when you look at most holiday-themed skins, aka Easter skins for a good example, don't assume that they're going to be doing insanely well, because Easter only comes around for a small period of time of the year, and then suddenly it's not Easter anymore, and then people don't care anymore. Even as we get close to Easter time, these aren't really gaining any traction. So, bit awkward, I know, but we talk about this every single year. Sometimes certain skins might stand out quite nicely, but yeah, it's not really happening here, is it? So, hey, if you want to build up some more, a nice collection of egg-themed boxes, getting the nice festive spirit, the likes of Easter, if you consider it festive, well, consider looking at the likes of these storages that we've shown to you so far, and consider giving them maybe a nice little home in your base. But yeah, got a nice little continuation here. We've got the large box. Yeah, good look at that. So it's basically like last year's, but even more. Wow, don't you need more Easter eggs? Well, actually, you probably do, because you want to be able to win when you've got to do the collecting game. And I'll shut up. Anyway, so cute little continuation. If you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no, and let's move on. All right. Talking about last year, with a small box being accepted, the exact same thing is going on here with the likes of Epic's Easter Neon Large Box. So, for week 2, what did we see? There we are, so let's just close this. We got the Neon Eggs box. Not owned by Microsoft, I should just quickly clarify. But anyway, get a Google of this. So we got the Neon Eggs box. And for a while, this was actually doing quite all right. This was actually sitting at around $2 for a fairly decent amount of time. But unfortunately, it still went down in price. So, yeah, a bit of a weird trend that Epic had last year. For like almost all of the holidays, he was getting a small neon box design accepted. Let's see if he can get a batch of neon large box skins being accepted this year. So that means neon large box for Easter, Halloween, and of course Christmas. So, hey, that's an interesting little detail there. And do you like what you see? Well, please consider, maybe buying one or two if you want. Like I said, with all these storages that we pointed out to you, maybe you want to go build up a nice little collection of eggs. And of course, if we quickly look at the likes of this, with the large box, it's essentially the same thing with the likes of a nice, straightforward neon design that glows ever so nicely at night time. If you approve of it, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Epic. Let's move on to the next thing. What do we have next? Why, it's Mr. Bad Trip and Hulk's continuation of a sheet metal door that they produced quite some time back. It's the Chocolate Garage Door, sequel to the sheet metal door that they made quite some time back. So we've got two versions here. You might remember the wrapper foiling, as you can see that, because you'll remember it when you see it on the chocolate door. So let's just close this. Let's go over to here. Chocolate door. How far back are you? Oh, it's right there. There you go. Right. So do you remember this? Do you remember the chocolate door? There we are. Very nice. Don't leave it in the sun for too long, it might melt. People could just walk through your base. So yeah, chocolate sheet metal door. Yeah, not doing super great at the moment. But yeah, maybe people just don't like chocolate. Well, it is what it is. But yeah, to look at a skin like this, I don't really imagine this is going to dramatically rise up in price and do insanely if we were to see this garage door being accepted, either version. So yeah, you got one that's got without the wrapper, as you can see here. So get a look at that. And then with the second one, we've got some wrapper all around it. Keep it nice and warm, I guess. So yeah, there you go. So another continuation, but to be realistic with you, I don't imagine the sheet metal door is going to dramatically rise up in prices if we were to just see this being accepted. But if you like it, please by all means consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Bad Trip and Hulk. Right, we'll just close that. And we'll move on to the final deployable skin that I know is a continuation. So what do we have here? Why, it's got all of this white gunk all over it. Oh no, that's icing. Oh, I see. We got a sheet. No, it's a wooden double door. I don't need any more sheet metal double doors in my life. And let me tell you, we did see quite a lot of them. maybe I'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, we got a wooden double door right here because last year Shedmon got his ever so nice looking, it was the first week, we got ourselves this sweet wooden door being accepted, yes. So if you can recall, this was accepted. It looks a bit silly, and, well, unfortunately it's not exactly selling super greatly. However, wooden double doors. Don't see many of those skins being accepted nowadays, do we? Most recent one was around Christmas time, but that was like the only marketable one to be accepted. I do recall we had 2 Twitch drops last year, but either way, if you're thinking, I could probably do with another one, I need some chocolate doors covered in icing. Yes, yeah, definitely 100% all nice and drippy, and it also has some transparency if you didn't notice. Someone's taken a couple bites out of it, which you can noticeably see here, 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 and here. Very nice, very cool. So yes, if you like what you see here, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Shedmon. And that was all of the deployables. Shall we move on to weapons and tools? Let's jump in. Alright, so this is a cute little thing, isn't it? You might remember last year, if I could just quickly close this, we had the likes of a goofy little door right here, didn't we? Yes, we had the Easter chick door. Get a good look at that. So maybe he needs a little friend, maybe a little hammer. There's also a real quick thing that we should just quickly discuss. In terms of hammer skins, what was the most recent marketable hammer skin that we had accepted? Well, if I were to type this in, I've talked about this before. Basically, it's been 2 years since we had a hammer skin in a Rust store, and I'm not joking. Toxic Hammer was the last marketable one, and that was put in on the 3rd of March 2022. I don't know why this has suddenly become a thing. You're always using a hammer. Doesn't really make sense, does it? But, face punch designs. I said that very awkwardly there. Anyway, so we've got a very goofy, cute looking Easter chick hammer right here, and you're going to go smash his head against the wall because you need to upgrade. It's just the way it is. So, cute little baby. If you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. And, yeah. So, to talk about, would a hammer skin dramatically cause the likes of this to go up in price? Yep, I don't think so. But, I mean, if it does build up into an interesting little collection of goofy little, chickens, maybe. We shall see. But keep an eye on it. Didn't go all the way down in price. It actually retained some decent amount of value. And, hey, maybe a continuation would give it a bit of a turnaround. I mean, it's fairly thin. What's stopping you from wanting to buy one, huh? So yes, if we were to see something like that being accepted, I think people would appreciate having a marketable hammer skin, but at the very least, just something nice, look very nice and cute. So best of luck to Keka and Micro. Next up, what do we have here? Waterpipe shotgun. Right, this is another one. When was the last Waterpipe shotgun skin to be accepted? I think it was Lunar New Year 2022. Yeah, Tiger Pipe. We have not had that many. So originally, quite some time back, 2017, 2018 time, we've seen tons of them being accepted. Nowadays, nope, hardly any. In fact, none. We've got 0 in 2023 and 0 so far this year. Maybe things might change. Maybe things might be different. So this is a continuation of Sadist's... Oh, what did you make? You made a carrot... Was it? Yeah, there you go. You made... he made carrot yoker and carrot jackhammer. That's it. I was originally thinking of the jackhammer. Oh, wait, yeah, you got one skin accepted one week and one skin accepted the other week. Oh, aren't you lucky? Yeah, that was it. Yeah. There yeah. I remember. So back over to here. Maybe he might be even more lucky and potentially get another skin accepted and a skin for a weapon that doesn't really get many skins ever. So, do you want to shoot some carrots at people? I mean, so, hey, it's straightforward, but nothing too crazy. Do you want to shoot people with a carrot? Well, you've got the option right there. So, consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, sadist. Moving on, here we have the likes of MDE's Chocolate Hunter MP5. Now, this one's quite a bit far back, but this is a continuation of a Thompson skin. Oh, how far back do we have to go? Where are we? Do I have to go even further back or more? There, yep, Chocolate Hunter Thompson. So back in 2021, so a good few years back, we got this Thompson being accepted. And what do we have here? Well, it's the MP5 version. Very nice, very cool. Ever so delicious looking and chocolatey. But I don't think an MP5 is going to cause a Thompson to dramatically rise up in price and whatnot if this were to be accepted. At the very least, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. And best of luck to you then, Mr. MDE. Let's see what happens next. What do we have over here? Well, not too long ago, we had an Easter Doodles LR300 being accepted. And if I could just quickly go back in time, it wasn't that week. Was it the second week? Was it 2022? It might have been. I'm trying to find an LR300. Did I not look properly? Probably. Do I need better glasses? Or just... Oh, there we go. That's right there. Yeah, I do. I need better eyes. Anyway, yes, we had the Easter Doodles LR300 being accepted. But problems with LR300s, they don't seem to have very good gun demand. And unfortunately, hasn't really done a good job in retaining its value. Even though we've got hardly any quantity on the Steam market, it's just the fact that people just don't seem to want to use LR300s that much. If there's no justification in using a weapon, where's the justification in wanting to own skins for it? And therefore, if nobody really wants to buy skins for a certain thing, prices aren't going to be good then, are they? Makes sense. There's no demand, so yeah. Awkward, but hey, maybe we'll see a continuation. Would that cause this to go up? No. It would be a weapon-only collection. I was going to go like really lean into it and say, maybe this could potentially cause it to go up in price and what. No. I'd rather just like stop that immediately. But at the end of the day, if you like what you see, you might not see a nice investment, but if you like the skin, you can still show your support. You can still hop in and say, yeah, I like it. Consider voting yes or no. It's as simple as that. So maybe that could be our Easter AK, but I accidentally leaked the other one. There you go, Guardian of Easter. Now, I know a lot of people are actually rooting for the likes of some clothing and armour. Like, lots of us were really hoping for likes of Tier 2. But remember, these skin creators only kind of found out that they had to get these skins out. Thank you, fan. Where was I? These skin creators only just recently found out that they had to get Easter skins readily prepared by, March 11. So, in short, maybe just didn't have time to get Tier 2 ready. So, I was a bit upset, but after getting, a better outlook, after being informed of the timing, I understood, and I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So it is what it is. But it's still a continuation of a set that's been getting quite a lot of skins over the past couple of years for Easter. So if I go over to here, you might be well aware of the likes of the Guardian Easter set. But like I said, I get the feeling a lot of people are probably expecting the likes of Tier 2 potentially. I get the feeling that's why the Hoodie is currently doing reasonably okay. I wouldn't be surprised if it potentially goes back down again. But anyway, an AK, would that cause the likes of these to potentially rise up in price? Again, as I just kind of hinted, I don't think so. Like, this is just a little bit of hype. But maybe. It's not something I fully rely upon. I already own a bunch of these. Maybe I could sell them now and get some money. Maybe. Well, we'll see. Maybe people just really want to dress up like a bunny. They love to dress up as animals in Rust, don't they? Yeah. All nice and fluffy and furry. So, regardless, if you happen to like what you see over here, if you think, yeah, Guardian of Easter AK-47 would be a good pickup, it would be a nice sequel, a nice continuation for the set, well, please consider voting yes or no, and let's just get a real quick look at the likes of this skin. Do we have a nice aim down the sight image? I would prefer if it wasn't at night time, but it's all nice and orange right there. Is that glowing? It better not glow. You're not supposed to have glow-in-the-dark aim sights anymore. Not that it really matters anymore, you've got Crosshair X and whatnot, but yeah, alright. Fair enough. So, yep, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no, and best of luck to you, Mr. Decap. And for the last batch, or rather, for the last skin out of the weapons and tools batch, we got Dark in the Dark L96. So, of course, last year we had, no, that's this week, we had Dark in the Dark AK-47. That sold for $3. It is not selling for $3 anymore. Oof. But if you are aware, last year, in total, how many AK-47s were introduced during 2023? And the answer is 44. That includes Twitch drops and whatnot. Charity skins, you get the idea. So for you to sit there and say, oh no, that AK went down in price, clearly it wasn't very good. I mean, all of it. I don't think any of it did a very good job in retaining value. It is what it is. Anyway, so if you're wondering, would an L96 potentially cause this to have a nice boost in price and whatnot? No, don't think so. I think people are clearly set that they don't really have a lot of demand for the likes of this. Who could hate dark chocolate? Whatever. Anyway, so regardless, if you like what you see here, if you'd like to see another L96 skin being accepted, we don't have many of them, do we? Well, consider voting yes or no. Yep. So best of luck to you, Mr. Victor Trigger. Shall we move on to the likes of armour and clothing? Here we are. So, last year, I've got to remind myself, yep, we have the Sweet Treats batch of skins. This is produced by Duck. Give it a good look at these. So let's just quickly go and see how they're faring on the likes of the Steam market. And unfortunately, it's not very good. But, what do we have in right here? Primitive Burlap Sweet Treat set. So here's a little insight. People do like to reinvest and jump into the likes of previous primitive skins if we get sequels. So basically what I'm sitting there and saying is, if this burlap shirt and burlap pants were to be accepted, I kind of wouldn't be surprised that the bandana and the boonie hat might have a bit of a spike in price. Now, remember, nothing is certain, but what I can tell you is, we didn't actually see that many clothing and armour skins being submitted over the past weekend. I think in total we probably got about 10. If you compare that to Deployables, I mean, there was probably like 60 Deployables. So you kind of understand the difference. So if you can remember of last year, with the likes of what we have here, it was a fairly, I'd say, balanced batch of Deployables, weapons, and clothing and armour. And if there's only so much clothing and armour being produced over the past weekend, I can't help but assume, when you look at something like this, it probably has a very good chance of potentially being accepted. All right? So that's another little interesting insight. So as we quickly close this, get a good look at this. Hey, do you like what it is? Should it be nice and sweet and tasty? So cute little, outfit. I think some people would appreciate it. Maybe you might attract flies. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, nothing wrong with it. Again, it's an Easter set. It's going to be goofy. Holiday skins tend to be a fair bit goofy. So if you're a fan, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Duck. And as I said, I think you could see the likes of this and this potentially rising up in price if we were to see those continuations potentially being accepted. So let's move on to the next thing. And what do we have right here? Why, it's Easter pants. Chocolate Easter pants to be precise. And what's so special about this? It's actually potentially a nice core continuation. So not too long ago, we had the likes of the Tier 2 being accepted. And if we were to see the likes of another core piece potentially being accepted, you should expect a nice spike in demand and spike in price for that Tier 2 armour. So how far back do we have to go to identify that Easter chocolate set? Oh, cool, we might be able to go back a fair bit. Was it 2022? Here it is, right, there you go, Chocolate Easter. So it was 2022. All right, we've got the answer there. So, yes, it's not exactly doing super great in terms of its price right about now, but it doesn't matter. If you see a new core piece being accepted, you will see the spike in demand and the spike in price. It doesn't matter. I know. You might say, but Hedge, it's so cheap. Don't matter. You will still see that rise up in price. It's going to happen. So we could quickly take a look at all of these skins real quickly. As I just said a minute ago, because we haven't really seen that many clothing and armour skins being produced, and I do expect a nice balanced batch of skins being accepted from Deployables, from weapons and tools, and of course clothing and armour, the chances of seeing a potential sequel for this set potentially being accepted is looking pretty high. Alright, now, do I really want to bother saying this? I guess I could. We know we're getting a new biome at some point this year. We don't know what it is. There was quite a lot of rumours saying it's probably going to be some sort of volcanic island or something. Let's just leave that for now, but who knows what environment we're potentially going to have. We've got green with the nice, foresty, grassy areas. We've got, very light brown for the likes of the desert and whatnot. And, of course, we've got white for the snow and Arctic biome. What other potential environment could we have? Some people have suggested maybe the likes of a jungle, or maybe like a rainforest. Maybe we could have a much better underground style sort of biome. Who knows? But if we were to see something like a volcanic island, what would that kind of look like? Would it be dark brown? Do you reckon dark brown colours could be very useful for the likes of a volcanic island? Again, bit of a stretch, but you never know. Now, what I will also point out, I do recall this helmet was actually manipulated let's just say 10 months ago. So go get a good look at this. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Yeah, I remember when that was apparently selling for about $14 a piece. It was a pump. So yeah, don't ever assume anything like that's ever going to happen again. It could, but don't. So anyway, again, as I said, with the likes of what we have here, the Easter chocolate hoodie and pants, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Pretex and Golden Dreamer. And yeah, that technically was the last continuation that I'm aware of. Now, if I have missed out on some of them, like if there were some other Easter skins that I didn't notice were continuations, I sincerely apologise, but I'm sure you can probably understand with the likes of this video, it was just kind of more of a showcase, like just a nice little insight, and we did discuss, some continuations and potential investments and whatnot, but it's not exactly like a super crazy video, is it? So like I said, if you want to go find all of these skins, you're going to need to go to the likes of the Rust Workshop. I'm sorry, but as I said, I don't necessarily want to produce a list of skins that potentially could cause problems if people mistake it as the official list. So you're going to have to wait until next week if you're too lazy to go look for these skins yourself. You could do one thing if you want, and I will point this out. You could go to sgmm.app and you could just quickly go over to here, click Item Workshop, and I'm pretty sure you will see most of all the new skins that were submitted right here. And if you just click them, it'll send you to the workshop pages. So, alright, Bipolar Penguin, I helped you out there. Got a lot of people to look at your website again. But yeah, this is probably a much easier way. Plus, you get to see a lot more skins on a single page. So yeah, you can just pick and choose if you want to look at them this way. So that's a nice little thing for you to learn about and, make use of. So I did, take a look at all of these continuations. I just want to quickly go through all of them one more time. So, just a real quick extra look. As I said, look for all of the clothing and armor pieces and then make comparisons to how many deployables you see, how many weapons and tools you see. It's definitely deplorable heavy. Like, if anything, I might lean into it more and say, I reckon about 75% of the skins that are submitted over the past weekend and as of Monday were in fact deployables. It wouldn't be too shocking. Right then, so I've got some honourable mentions and I feel like I should probably go show them off real quickly. So these are things that I just happen to like more. Do you reckon we need another bone club? So, So this is made by Mr. RAF. I don't think he's had a skin accepted before. I can't fully remember, I'm afraid. But do you just want to choke that chicken? Do you just look at that grip? Look at that grip. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you choke him. You just you got to hold it nice and firm. Make sure he screams very loudly as you shake him. So yeah, maybe you enjoy choking the chicken. Maybe that's a bone club you need in the game. That's my honourable mention for the likes of weapons and tools. If you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Moving on. And what do we have here? Now, this was actually, technically speaking, a loose connection. What do you mean? Well, this technically could be seen as a continuation. It's not. It hasn't got the same name, so I avoided that. But then I thought maybe I could still mention it as an honourable mention. So as you can see, it's a nice chocolatey, large box. Very nice piece of work, produced by a little ranger. One of the people with a ton of acceptances in Rust in terms of Rust skins. So what do you mean? What's this continuation connection you're talking about? Well, if I go a little bit further back. There we go, it's right there, Buddy Blast AR. This is also made by Little Ranger, and you might notice the bunny's pretty much the exact same thing. Do you notice that? So, technically speaking, I kind of think this technically is a continuation. Maybe, but in the name, not really. It's not called Bunny Blast, is it? So, hey, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Little Ranger. And lastly, for my honourable mention in regards to the clothing and armour, just for the design of this, the fact that Voodoo actually kind of made an egg-shaped tier 3 armour set, props to him, that's actually pretty clever. I don't think anybody's ever done that before. So for like an actual Fabergé tier 3 armour set, fair enough. Voodoo, you've never had an acceptance before. And let me tell you, buddy, as I've said, in regards to the likes of hardly any clothing and armour skins being submitted, I think you got a pretty good chance. That's a pretty cool looking design. that's why I gave it for the honourable mention. So, yeah, if you like what you see here, if you think, oh yeah, that's pretty cute, that's pretty clever, why not consider voting yes or no? So, there you go. Best of luck to you, Mr. Voodoo. Let's see what happens next. And yeah, guys, that's essentially it. That is essentially it. So, I know it was a bit brief, but like I said, based on the situation, I can't really produce my own list. I mean, I probably can, but just to kind of avoid potential confusion, I thought, best, maybe I just kind of step away from that. Much like I've done with the likes of the recent Christmas and Halloween, and I mean, that's going to happen all over again later this year again, isn't it? So it is what it is. Right, one extra thing that I wanted to discuss. We still do not fully know if we're going to be getting 2 weeks. So it kind of wouldn't surprise me if we do get 2 weeks, the 21st and the 28th. And of course, Easter's actually taken place on the 31st of March, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get 2 weeks. And then there was another thing, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. With all these submissions, how many of them were sheet metal double doors? I know, I have to talk about it. Well, in terms of all the sheet metal double doors, oh, you're not going to find it that way, are you? I think we've seen about 4. Yeah, we've seen about 4 of them. So if you've bought or invested into sheet metal doors quite recently, be prepared. I'm giving you a warning. I think I've seen quite a few of them appearing very recently, and what do you reckon? Do you reckon there's a fairly good chance you might potentially see another sheet metal double door being accepted? Oh dear, where's the other one? Oh, you got that one there as well? Yeah. I think there was a 4th one. Or maybe I'm mistaking it with the wooden double door. Yeah. Oh, no, there is. Yep. I mean, it looks cool. I'll give it to you, Mr. Lysane and Mr. Cobra. That does look cool, but yeah. Sheet metal double doors, oh no, not again. So, yeah, that's just a little in-joke in regards to what we've been talking about with investments recently. So other than that, that should all be appearing at some point, not with the next Rust store, but the Rust store next week. So March 21st, that's when you should start seeing the likes of those Easter skins appearing. Of course, with the actual Easter in-game event appearing as well. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And don't forget, if we quickly hop over to here, if you want to stay up to date in regards to potential new Rust content and whatnot, you never know, we might be getting new items and something. It's kind of getting a bit short in terms of time. At the very least, keep an eye on the likes of the Face Punch commits, more specifically the Rust commits. As you can see here, they're currently working on bikes. Maybe bikes and motorbikes and whatnot are going to be readily available around April time. But mentioning items, I guess we could probably go ahead and do that. So if I were to go over to here, Easter items please, thank you. Don't mind these, it's a bit glitched. Right, this isn't even all the Easter items. Well, actually, no, I think it is. We haven't got the Rustigé eggs. All right, no worries. My expectation is I think we will see the return of the egg suit, but you should be aware that a new chicken costume has been produced. I am under the assumption that will be sold. So if we can just quickly, there it is. Yep. Right here. So this very likely will be sold. It's technically speaking, they are wooden pants skins. Yep, they are wooden pants skin, but it's an item. But I wouldn't know how much that might cost. And as some people have asked, I don't actually know if they will or won't, bring back the likes of the egg suit. Actually, no, not that. We'll also bring up the other items. So there's also a question of, will Bunny Hat and Nest Hat return? Because if you aren't fully well aware, these didn't reappear last year. But this, of course, appeared with the new Rustigé egg, the white one. But from what I've seen, it doesn't look like we're getting a brand new Rustigé egg. I don't know if these are going to return, and I really don't know if that's going to return. But if they do bring back the Easter suit, and if it sells for $10 again, I will sit here and say, technically speaking, that would be a nice investment. Why? Because what tends to happen is, when a holiday item is reintroduced, but it's much cheaper on the Steam market, when people go look at the Rust store, if they think, oh, well, X-Suit's back, or, oh, I've never seen that before, I want to buy it, just before they actually proceed to buy it, it will actually tell them, hang on a minute, you could actually go to the Steam market right now and buy it for $5.75 instead. And people will be like, oh, well, yeah, I'd rather pay that price than $10. And what will happen is you'll see this actually potentially rise all the way up to maybe about $10. Maybe not directly, but maybe about $8, because, of course, people will buy all the cheap ones, and when they've had their fun with the X-Suits, then they start to go back down in price afterwards. So what's a good example of this? I could remind you of the likes of a certain torch skin. So if you can recall, Cultist Deer Torch was brought back to the Rustore for the most recent Halloween batch of Rustores. So right now it's selling for $2, but when it was October time, we actually saw it spike in demand, spike in price. So yeah, the very thing that I just discussed that could potentially happen to Exosuit happened right here. It was in the Rustore, went all the way up in price, and then when it was out of the Rustore, went back down again. So yeah. So that's something that could happen with the likes of this. So keep an eye out. And like I said, if these do not come back, if they are not reintroduced for 2024, I am led to assume that they're probably discontinued from now on. And, well, yeah, we'll see what happens. So that's Easter. We'll find out what happens next. And, yeah. Do you want to check the chicken? Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.